Nagdaay sa tanan and welcome back to Practical Research 1. Before we start our lesson 2, let's first have a review about our previous discussion. This time, I want you to pause the video and try to recall our definition for research from last meeting. You may play the video again once you are done. Please pause the video now. I will assume that you already have your answer. So, research is a scholarly activity that addresses a specific problem, the collection, analysis, and interpretation of data, systematically finding solution to a specific problem. So, in general, research is about data gathering to solve a certain problems. The outcome of our research must also provide a solution for the problem that we are searching for. And remember, the person to conduct the research are those scholars, meaning to say, educated people, educated persons such as students, pwede ni siya kamo, and much better kung professionals. So, the qualities of a good researcher. In order for a research to be successful, the researcher or the person who conducts the research must possess the following. Number one, curious. As a researcher, you need to have interest on what you are searching, on what you are doing. With interest, you will have curiosity. With the help of curiosity, it will actually give impact on your research. You will not feel tired on what you are doing, and you will become more entertained instead nga kapuyon ka. Effective and efficient. A good researcher must be smart. So, he or she must work in a way that is easier and does not delay the process or the progress of his or her research. Creative must be someone who is skilled in making decisions, especially on times of events that may slow him or her down in the progress of his research. So, dapat you are someone who is creative and innovative. So, you know what you should do in terms of events that will delay you. Honest. Number 5, interested in improving life. So again, since research is about looking solution for problems, so you need to be someone who wants to help others. Number 6, meticulous. So you need to be very careful in every detail and you need to avoid carelessness. Systematic. So this refers to step-by-step process, or in other words, you need to have a plan on what you need to do as a researcher in order for you or for your research to be successful. Let us now proceed to our second lesson, qualitative and quantitative research. So, as what you have all know, there are two types of research. It could be qualitative or quantitative. Each of them can be very useful depending on the problem. For our objectives, we have the same objective from our previous discussion. You are expected to define and explain the importance of research, describe the process, type, characteristics, and ethical standards of research, discuss the qualities of a good research, and different. This time, I want you to pause the video. Please try to discuss or define quantitative research using your own words. You may play the video again once you are done. Please pause the video now. I will assume that you already have your answer. So, quantitative research relies heavily on numbers. It is used to determine what the majority think about a certain topic. It uses statistics to understand major trends, perception, or opinion of the majority. If you have noticed, ikapila gibalik-balik diri ang numbers, because quantitative research focuses on numbers or statistics. The following are the characteristics of a quantitative research. First is objectivity. It refers to the questions. So the questions already have their answers given. And as a respondent, all you have to do is to select the best option or choice that applies to them. Example, manggod sa mga questions under sa quantitative research are those questions answerable by yes or no, agree, strongly agree, or disagree. And as a respondent, mamili ra ka dito kung unsay mo ang pilion. it uses numbers. So at the end of the data collection process or at the end of the interview, ang mga researchers in quantitative research will have to tally the result. So they will have to record kung pila ka buok ang ga-answer og strongly agree for number 1, kinsay ga disagree, pila ka buok ga disagree rather. Basta it focuses on numbers, bali mag-count ra sila kung pila ka buok. After that, they will have to use quantitative data collection method. So aside from gathering the data, naapay laing steps wherein dapat nila i-follow in order to arrive at the most accurate result. Number 4, focus on predetermined set of concepts. So from the word predetermined, meaning to say, ang answer sa mga questions is already there. Ang problem lang is daghan og answer, and by that, they need respondents because they need to find the data to know kung asa atong mga choices or options ang mag-apply sa majority or mas ganahan ang majority. This time, let's talk about qualitative research. Please try to define this using your own words again. Pause the video and play it when you are done. Please pause the video now. Okay, I will assume that you already have defined qualitative research. So here we can see that it refers to or it talks about exploring complex issues as well as in qualitative research, we understand that people are all different. So, unlike quantitative research nga given na daan ang answer, mamili na lang ang respondents, in qualitative research, questions are open-ended, meaning to say, wala tay fix nga answer. Ang questions kasagaran diri is nag-start sa why, sa how, or anything nga ilahang answer is in essay form. So, it explores complex issues because qualitative research is very useful on issues, especially itong mga concept na issues, no? Such as, let's say, what does people think about COVID? And then, unsay kay mga results sa COVID and anything ana. Here are the characteristics of qualitative research. So, rich. So, ang pasabot sa rich ani is about the data. Since the respondents has the freedom man to give their answers. So, daghan tag data nga makolek ani because each individual has their own experience and by that, they have their own answer. Number 2, it is open because whether the answer, we agree to the answers or not, so, dapat dawato nato because in qualitative research, the respondents are given the freedom to answer or to give the answer that they want. Number 3, subjective, meaning to say, there is more than one answer. So, dili kay isa ra ang answer. Number 4, a great approach to deal with complex issues. Okay? So, let's talk about the similarities of quantitative and qualitative research. So, first one is, both of them help address human problems. So, both have specific method and design, whether mag-follow tag quantitative or qualitative research, na atay step-by-step process nga need i-follow. Requires a critical mind and hard work. So, we cannot say nga masayon ang quantitative research and mas lisod si quali, or the other way around, because both of them needs a critical mind and hard work. Number 4, it requires a plan. Basically, so research is all about solving problems, so we need to plan to make sure that we will arrive at the correct or best solution. Now, let's talk about the differences between the two. Qualitative focuses on words, quantitative, numbers. Qualitative is very useful in complex issues, while quantitative focuses on predetermined variable, meaning to say, given na ang answer. So, all you have to do is to gather data kung how many people agree on this certain variable. Number 3, helps generalize only over the setting. So, meaning to say, ang results sa qualitative research can only be useful in that area kung asa siya gikandak. For example, you want to know mm, you want to know the perception of the students in St. Columban College about COVID-19. So ang result ana will be very useful sa St. Columban ra. Kay dito ra man nimo siya gikandak, and then that's the nature of qualitative research. Unlike sa quantitative research, it helps generalize over the majority. So for example, you want to know um, the amount, how much time does teenagers spend in using social media, and then imuhang respondents are these teenagers found in Pagadian City. Then the result of that, since naaman ka sa quantitative research, you can actually generalize it to the population. Since you are using the teenagers, so you can make a conclusion that based from the research found, so 80% of teenagers, so it can be concluded that 80% of teenagers uses social media from 8 to 10 hours a day. So instead nga St. Columban ang gigamit nga term, kaysa St. Columban man siya gikandak, we are using the term teenagers. Balay general nato siya. So going back to qualitative research, so it requires a small number of participants, while quantitative requires a large number of participants. So one reason for this is that since ang quantitative manggod is a generalized na to iyahang result, that's why we need to have as much as as large as possible nga participants. So let us proceed to these different types of research. Katong kuan, qualitative and quantitative research, those are just the designs. We actually have other types of research. Depende siya sa ato ang field. Starting with library research. Believe it or not, you already made this one. Probably sa inyong English, especially sa inyong English. From the word library, these are the type of research wherein makakuha kag information sa library. So unsa may naa sa library, we have the books. So meaning, the data nga inyong i-collect is dili ka mag-interview og tawo, but mag-collect ra ka or magbasa ra ka og different sources. So using documents. So kaning library research is not limited to tangible books lang. We can also use electronic library. So documents that can be seen in the internet. So again, library research, no need to interview a person. All you have to do is to read different documents. Probably 3 or more documents since kuan man siya research. For example, the teacher tasks you to look for the result of smoking. Unsay result sa smoking sa tuang lungs. So, library research siya. So, maato kag library and look for lots of books that talks about that certain topic. Basic research. From the word basic, no, it talks about kuan it focuses mainly on theory. Applying the theory or testing the theory or creating a new theory. So sa basic research ang tawag ana. Applied research, from the word applied, meaning to say these are the researches whose outcome is magamit. For example, inyuhang research is about you want to determine kung asa nga specific nga lugar sa Pagadian ang probably most dangerous place. So very useful kayo na siya because in case nga successful inyuhang research, so the people living around Pagadian City will know nga dangerous din siya nga place and they will be more careful in that area. So mahulog na siya nga applied research because nagamit inyuhang research. Field research. So kaning field research, this is very useful in businesses. Example ani niya is if you are a businessman and you want to gusto ka magtukod og mall, so you dili ka mo diretso kuan tukod og mall, you also have to do research. Or ayon na lang mall, you want to make a business kanang milk teahan. Before ka magpatukod, you need to do proper research such as mag-research ka kung mag-research ka different variables such as the population in the area. So in case nga magbuhat kag kuan, milk tea, pila ka buok kaha imuhang customer per day, pila imong target nga income every day, mga unsa pag yun, siguro mga competitions pod basin daghan na po ga milk tea ana nga area. So that is an example of field research. The last one is laboratory research. From the word laboratory, we usually associate laboratory with science. So, kaning laboratory research, this is used for experiment, used by the scientists for discovery or experiment. For example, if you want to find the cure or the tambal para sa vaccine para sa COVID, so you probably would like to apply this laboratory research. So imong mga respondents ani is mag-application ka, injection na nimo or i-test nimo sa ilaha ang um, mga gipanghimo ni mga tambal. So that will be the end of our lesson 2, and I do hope that you learned a lot today. And if you still have questions, do not hesitate to contact me with my Facebook account that I already provided. You can also send a message to our group chat or send a message privately to me through Messenger or to my contact number. Please do not forget to answer the activities posted in our GenU, and then it will expire next week. Thank you, class, for coming, and I hope to see you again next meeting. Goodbye. Differentiate quantitative and qualitative research.